Hi, I'm Priscilla Rodriguez, and I lead the SAT team at College Board. At a time when many colleges have made submitting a test score optional, we want the SAT to be the best possible option for students. That's why, beginning in 2023, when students take the digital SAT, it won't simply be a digital version of the current paper and pencil test. It will be a better, more flexible test that's easier to take, easier to give, more secure, and more relevant. So let's talk about what's not changing. The digital SAT will still measure the knowledge and skills that students are learning in high school and that matter most for college and career readiness. Scores will still be on a 1,600-point scale, and students will continue to take the test at school or at a test center, not at home. Every student will still have access to free practice resources on Khan Academy, and the test will continue to connect students directly to important scholarship opportunities. So what is changing and when? The digital SAT will be offered internationally first in March of 2023, and all PSAT assessments will be administered digitally starting in the fall of 2023. So here is what is changing. Students will take the test on a laptop or a tablet, where they already do a lot of their learning. The test will be shorter, going from 3 hours to 2. And reading passages will be shorter and math questions will be less wordy. Students will be able to use calculators on the entire math section, and scores will be delivered in days instead of weeks. And to serve even more students, SAT score reports will also connect students to information on local two-year colleges and workforce training programs. We've already begun piloting the new test with students, both in US and international test centers, to hear what they think about these changes. Here's what students who participated in the recent pilot had to say.
I guess one of the single biggest improvements with the digital SAT version would be how the questions are formatted.
It was shorter, it made sense, it got straight to the point, and we were able to answer the questions, analyze and answer the questions.
On the pilot SAT, check-in was way easier.
Having it online digitally is more convenient. You can easily switch between the questions, and all the tools are provided, like a calculator is built in.
Everything was already downloaded and ready to go, as soon as you walked in the door.
It tells you where everything is, where the calculator is, where the a sheet is for formulas.
There's a little clock in the corner that you can always refer to. You know exactly how much time you have left and you can better manage your time.
SAT was much shorter and the questions were a lot more concise and straightforward.
As we take the test digital, we've been really focused on students' access to technology. Students will be able to use their own device or a device from their school. But if a student doesn't have a device, we'll provide one on test day. And if your Wi-Fi drops or your computer dies during the test, we've designed the digital SAT so you can just plug back in, reconnect, and you won't lose any time or work. But you might be wondering, why does the SAT matter at all if it's now optional at most colleges? First, most students say they want the option to submit their scores to colleges. That's because the SAT continues to open doors for students of all backgrounds. I know firsthand because I was one of those students. As a daughter of immigrants, the SAT gave me access to colleges, scholarships, and educational opportunities I never would have had access to or even known about. And that is true for so many students. In fact, in the class of 2020, nearly 1.7 million students had SAT scores that would strengthen their college application. And among those 1.7 million students, more than 300,000 were from small towns and rural communities, 600,000 were first generation, and more than 700,000 were African American and Latino. The SAT continues to play a vital role in college admission. Today, there are 25,000 high schools in the US, and colleges can't possibly know each of those high schools and every student in them. And grading policies can vary at these different high schools. In 2021, 55% of US students graduated high school with an A average or better. So to consider every student fairly, colleges look at much more than just grades. Yet other parts of college applications, things like clubs, sports, and academic activities, can be costly and inaccessible for many families. The SAT, by contrast, is widely available to millions of students to help them stand out on their applications. And most students take the SAT for free in their school during the school day. We're working to ensure the SAT will continue to open doors for even more students. Students take the SAT to show what they know and what they can do, and to be seen by colleges. The digital SAT will be an even better way for them to do just that.